Right, hello everyone and welcome to the preview for Hull City vs Lincoln in the Papa John's Trophy quarter final at the KCOM Stadium, Tuesday the 2nd of February, kick-off 7:45pm. I just want to say, as the match details are coming on screen for you, I just want to say I am recording this preview at 10 to 9 on the 31st of January. This will go out. I'm going to try and put it out as early afternoon as possible on the 1st of February, which, in case you don't know today, it's deadline day. So there's a lot of stuff happening and you will find out a lot of that as we head into transfer roundup. But the match details you can see there. Fingers crossed you've had time to take that all in. You do have to pay £10 for this one if you want to watch it. No ifs, buts or coconuts. Anyway, Callum Jones and Martin Samuelson. This is team news, by the way. Callum Jones and Martin Samuelson are both back in training after hamstring and calf injuries, respectively. As it stands, when I'm recording this, Martin Samuelson is still a Hull City player. If you've not heard the rumours, just wait until the transfer roundup comes in, mate. Anyway. Brandon Fleming has suffered a setback with a groin injury he has picked up in recent weeks. I didn't know this when I recorded the last preview, but McCann's press conference confirmed that. So McCann has confirmed that we're dipping back into the transfer market for a left back as cover for Callum Elder. Alfie Jones limped off in the 1-0 victory against Swindon at the weekend, which looks like a hamstring problem, and Gavin White missed that win through injury. The extent of his injury is unknown. What part of his body he injured is unknown. Yeah, and Malik Wilkes was hobbling slightly when he was replaced by Billy Chadwick. It didn't look too severe, probably just got a few kicks or something, I don't know. And Tom Eaves, calf and Festus Arthur remain out injured. Ref watching it happening this week because the EFL haven't announced who the refs are on the website, so that's fun. Anyway, on to stats. Hull City had 11 shots against Swindon. Of those 11, 5 were on target. Hull City had 51% of possession, committed 17 fouls and made 11 tackles, won 47% of aerial duels in the game, and City made 547 passes in the game with a pass accuracy of 78%. On to what do I think then? I think Grant will put a similar lineup out to what he played at the weekend because it's a big game. Smallwood will come in for Alfie Jones. I hope Gavin White isn't out for too long. Same applies to Alfie Jones, really. And CROWLEY was excellent on Saturday. I will also say here, I think Matt Ingram will play. On to head-to-head battles then. It's George Honeyman up against George Grant. Jorge, I don't know. A midfield battle between Honeyman and Grant. And Dan Crowley, who I think will keep his place on the left wing, will have to get past on loan Tottenham man Timothy Ioma. The Opposite View returns this week, and today we are talking. Well, I have teamed up with Lincoln fan Max Eshelby to discuss Lincoln so far this season, a season which has been very successful for them at that.
Thanks for having me on the channel. My name is Max and I'm a Lincoln City fan, and in this video we're giving a preview for the Hull City versus Lincoln City game on Tuesday night in the Papa John's Trophy. So Lincoln go into the match off the back of a 1-0 defeat at home to Doncaster, a key win for Doncaster in the chase for the automatic promotion spots. It also allowed Hull to go above us again in the league, however we still hold that game in hand on you. It was quite a frustrating, we missed 2 penalties, so I think that says it all. We had a lot of chances, but Doncaster's keeper had an absolute blinder of a game, so it was very much, I would say, a smash and grab for Doncaster, but credit given where his credit's due. They did play well, and I think a draw would have been a fair result. But going into the game itself on Tuesday, Lincoln, despite the loss on Saturday, we did have quite good form, and I think one thing Hull will have to watch out for is, and possibly not underestimate us, is that when we do lose, we do tend to go on a bit of a run. The run, which lasted up until Saturday, was going from about December time when we lost to Shrewsbury and Sunderland. So, yeah, I think despite the fact we lost, Tuesday night could be the beginning of another run for Lincoln. So, I think that's one thing you'll have to watch out for. Players to watch out for. I think it'll be a bit of a rotated side. I think most of the bench from Saturday's game will probably start on Tuesday night, except Alex Palmer, who's our number 1 goalkeeper. And I think should he play, whether that be starting or come on as a substitute, I think George Grant will definitely have to watch out for. He's a midfielder, but he's a very versatile midfielder. He can play pretty much every position in midfield. He's, a key playmaker. He's an agile midfielder. He's got really good technique on him, so as a player you'll definitely have to watch out for. Brennan Johnson, again, I think he's a player you'll probably have to watch out for. Again, he's very agile. I think his finishing still has a little bit to be desired for, but he's a really good young prospect and definitely a player I think Hull will have to watch out for. I think it's a bit disappointing fans can't be there, and maybe not so much this Tuesday, but the Tuesday after when we play you in the league. I know from my granddad that when Lincoln and Hull used to play each other in sort of Division 4 League 2 back in the early 2000s, that was a really fiery affair. So, yeah, it'll be a bit disappointing fans can't be there, but I think it should be a really interesting game. I think you should also know that Michael Appleton has lost 2 finals in the EFL Trophy before when he was Oxford United manager, so I think he'll definitely be wanting to actually win the tournament, especially with this Lincoln side. So I think Lincoln will definitely be going for it. I don't think we'll be sitting back and just hoping for the best. And I think should Lincoln or Hull get to the final or possibly win, it would give us both some really good momentum, considering we're both challenging for the league title going into the last half of the season. If we can get a bit of silverware on the board, get a Wembley trip on the board. So yeah, I think it should be a really, really interesting game. Score prediction wise, I'm going to be optimistic. Obviously got to back the boys, so I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for Lincoln. I think it's going to be a really interesting game. Hopefully maybe that little local rivalry might play a little bit of a role in it, but I think it should be a really interesting game, so I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for Lincoln, but I think it could go either way, to be honest. But anyway, thanks for having me on the channel.
Thank you very much to Max for that, and now we are on current form, where in our last 5 we've drawn 1-0 with Blackpool, beat Accrington 3-0, beat Portsmouth 4-0. Regarding that game, actually, I saw a comment for the last preview saying that the fact Jack Watmore didn't get Player of the Month for us for his performance in that Portsmouth game just shows it's rigged. That was brilliant. And he's not had the best of times since then, as is Jack Watmore, bless him. Then we lost 2-0 to Accrington Stanley and beat Swindon 1-0. Lincoln drew 1-0 with Peterborough, beat Accrington 4-0, beat Northampton 2-1, beat Portsmouth 1-0 and lost 1-0 to Doncaster, a result which sent us top of the league. However, Lincoln do have a game in hand and Doncaster are absolutely flying. They have played 22 games, we've played 25. They've got 3 games in hand and they're 3 points behind us. We need to hope that it's an absolutely monumental slip up for them. And even looking up and down the league, the relegation battle's quite tight as well if you disregard Burton, because they're quite far adrift from Wigan, Swindon. And can I say, Swindon do not at all look as though they're a team battling relegation. They looked on it when we played them. And a lot of the teams, Shrewsbury, when we played them, were in the relegation zone. What happened? They beat us. Blackpool, they were quite high up the table and they didn't really perform to the maximum until, well, we faltered until we absolutely bottled it in the 2 games that we played against them. They weren't better than us. And Oxford as well, they're doing really well. They were right down there just recently and the playoff battle's tight as well. But it's the Papa John's Trophy that we're focusing on. If we win this game, we are 1 game away from Wembley. Let's see the other ties, the other Papa John's Trophy quarter-final ties then on around the grounds, where MK Dons face Sunderland, Oxford face AFC Wimbledon, and Tranmere Rovers face Peterborough United. Can I just add as well, there are some League One games this midweek as well, so that will shake the table up a little bit. I believe Doncaster have a game. I will just check that very quickly. The Tuesday fixtures are Swindon versus Wigan, that's 22nd versus 23rd in the league, and Shrewsbury versus Crewe. And I believe there's some on Wednesday as well. Am I right in thinking? There's Accrington Stanley versus Bristol Rovers, Charlton versus Portsmouth, Blackpool versus Northampton. Yeah, that's it. Then we're on to the Friday games. So yeah, there's a few games in the League One as well this week. On to memorable match now then. So memorable, we're calling our stadium the KC Stadium for this one, the 25th of October 2003, in the equivalent of League One. We beat Lincoln 3-0. Hull, Allsop and Stuart Green scored the goals that day. You'll notice in the team there we've got Justin Whittle, Damien Delaney, Andy Dawson, Ian Ashby, Ben Burgess. Yeah, some decent players in there. Alan Fettis on the bench, Ryan France. And then if we move on to last time out, last time we played these guys was February 2004. That same season, we lost 2-0 at Sinsel Bank. Very similar team that day. This time, though, we had Stuart Elliott come in. We had John Walters. Yeah, so Gain and Mayo scored for them that day. Moving on to shared shirts now then. We're looking at Charlie Andrew today. A player who was involved with the first team a lot. I've got a shirt with him signed on it. But yeah, Charlie never really broke through for either team, really. It's a shame because Charlie had a lot of talent. But hey ho. He was in our academy from I don't know when, but he left this time last year, deadline day last year. He left that day with the likes of Jared Bowen, Kamil Grzycki, Marcus Henriksen. Yeah, he never played for us, never scored for us. And for Lincoln, he joined them. Well, he left us to join them. And by deadline day, the next transfer window, 31st of September, he was gone. He was released. Shame for Charlie, and I believe he's playing for Pickering Town now. Anyway, moving on to transfer roundup then. This is what's happening so far. This is confirmed by Grant McCann, this first one. Martin Samuelsson is in Denmark, finalising a loan move to Aalborg. The loan will last until the end of the season and will be made permanent if Samuelsson hits certain performance objectives. There's an obligation in that if he scores a certain amount of goals, gets a certain amount of assists, plays a certain amount of games, etc. And Football League World reports that City are willing to let James Scott go out on loan, and Grant McCann has confirmed that he is staying put. And as I said in team news, Grant McCann is looking to dip into the transfer market for a new left-back to provide cover for Callum Elder, as Brandon Fleming has picked up an injury. On to my predicted 11 now then in Grant McCann's standard stuff, 4-3-3. We're changing it up a little bit. We've got Matt Ingram in goal. So our goalkeeper changes. It's not George Long, it's Matt Ingram. Lewie Coyle keeps his place at right back. The two centre-backs are Reece, Burke and Jacob Greaves. The left-back is Callum Elder, as I'm not sure who we can sign. I looked on SoFIFA and I thought maybe Cherkin from Tottenham go out and get him a bit of experience, maybe. Just playing second fiddle to Callum Elder, but I'm not sure who we're looking at. Three central midfielders are Richie, Smallwood, the captain, George Honeyman and Greg Doherty. On the right wing, we have Malik Wilkes. On the left wing, we've got Dan Crowley. And up top, we've got Keane, Lewis, Potter. That's the team. So fine picture form. Moving on to the substitutes bench, we've got George Long, James Scott, Josh Emmanuel, Jordan Flores, Regan Slater, Josh McGuinness and Billy Chadwick. That's the team in picture form there. You can see I've not got the crap editor Jordan Flores anymore. For those who don't know, by the way, the body that head was edited onto was Keane Lewis Potter's body. I know. And that's the team on the pitch. It's going to be a tight game. It's going to be a very, very tight game. But do I think we will manage to get the win? I'm saying 2-2 in normal time. I'm not sure whether it's extra time as well at this stage, but I think we will win 6-5 on penalties. And on that note, thank you very much for watching this preview. Deadline day today. Let's see who we bring in. And I'm sure that Grant McCann will find the right guy to come in on loan for half a season and sit in the stands. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I'll see you later. Goodbye.